Trisha was a delightful 10-year-old with a smile that could light up a room, mostly because that smile was usually reflecting the high-definition glow of a television screen. Every day, Trisha would march home from school, toss her backpack toward the couch — it usually landed on the cat, who was used to it — and dive headfirst into the world of the galactic hamsters, or whatever viral video featured a teenager trying to eat a giant marshmallow in one bite. The 3-hour slump. From 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., Trisha was a statue. The only muscles moving were her thumb on the remote and her jaw as she munched on crackers. By the time the clock struck 6, Trisha didn't feel like a superhero. She felt like a piece of overcooked broccoli. "Trisha, time for math," her mom would call. "I can't," Trisha would groan, sliding off the couch like a melting ice cream cone. "My brain is full. The hamsters, they took all my energy." Her homework sat in her bag, lonely and neglected. In class, she started nodding off. When her teacher asked, "Trisha, what is 12 times 12? Trisha would blink sleepily and mutter, "Is it a giant marshmallow?" Her grades began to sag like a wet cake, and she felt like a permanent resident of Boredom Town. The day the magic box died. Then came the Tuesday of the great silence. Trisha pressed the on button. Nothing. She pressed it harder. She did a little dance. She even asked the cat for help. But the TV remained a cold, black rectangle of despair.
"Mom, the TV is broken. Send help. Send a technician. Send a sandwich,"
Trisha wailed. Her parents, buried under mountains of paperwork, barely looked up. "Sorry, honey," her dad said. "We're swamped. No time to call the repairman until next week. Why don't you try existing?" Trisha wandered around the living room. She counted the ceiling tiles. She poked a pillow. Finally, out of pure, unadulterated desperation, she opened her backpack. The homework epiphany. She pulled out a social studies worksheet. At first, she waited for the skip ad button to appear in her vision, but it didn't. She had to actually read. "The Nile River is..." "Hey, this is actually kind of cool," she whispered. Without the flickering lights of the TV draining her brain, she realized she wasn't actually tired. She was just bored. She finished the worksheet in 20 minutes. Then she saw it. A dusty box of 64 crayons and a blank sketchbook buried under a pile of old socks. Trisha began to draw. She didn't just doodle. She created a world. She drew a majestic purple dragon wearing a tuxedo. She colored the scales with such precision that they looked like they were shimmering. She drew a forest where the trees grew lollipops. The new Trisha. The next morning, Trisha didn't drag her feet. She bounced into school. When the teacher asked about the Nile, Trisha's hand shot up like a rocket. But the real shock came during art class. "Trisha," Ms. Henderson gasped, looking at her sketch of a robotic owl. "This is incredible! The shading, the depth, where has this been hiding?" "Under a pile of galactic hamsters episodes," Trisha admitted with a grin. The lesson of the fast food brain. Trisha realized that watching TV was like eating mental candy. It gave her instant gratification, a quick burst of fun that left her feeling weak and lazy afterward. Doing her homework and drawing was like a mental steak. It took a little more work to chew, but it made her feel strong, smart, and creative. By the time the TV repairman finally showed up 2 weeks later, Trisha didn't even hear him knock. She was too busy finishing a masterpiece of a sunset that made her mom cry. Happy tears, not "you failed math" tears. "The TV is fixed," her dad announced. Trisha looked at the screen, then at her bright, colorful sketchbook. "That's okay," she said, picking up a sunset orange crayon. "I'll watch it for 30 minutes later. I've got a dragon's wing to finish first." Everyone agreed. Trisha wasn't just sweet. She was a brilliant artist who had finally found her on button. Watching TV in excess is a wastage of time because it acts as mental candy. It provides instant, passive entertainment that consumes our energy without giving anything back. While the screen flickers, our real-world talents, like Trisha's art and academic potential, stay hidden under a pile of socks. The story teaches us that energy is finite. Trisha felt exhausted not because she was working hard, but because the TV was draining her battery. Passive versus active growth. Watching a galactic hamster requires nothing from the brain, but drawing a dragon or learning about the Nile builds strength, confidence, and skill. Balance is key. The goal isn't necessarily to banish the TV forever, but to ensure it doesn't become a black hole that swallows our most productive and creative hours.
Hey kids, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos.